Yo, we all up in your mouth. Social media, Trifecta Squad is all up in your house. Got that drip shop talk is what we talking out. XCell Airborne, Chicago is what we talking about. Shining light on new artists, it's your man Tommy Gunz. Older new school man, how you gon' come? He keep them hits loaded, them topics keep rolling. The content potent, squad business, you better know it. Message, super producer J-Dub. Wack song of the week, man, you'll probably need a hug. Bad influence, his opinion is solid. Most dudes is cap, but he kicking canales. Hit USA Radio top 10 at 9. From 6 to 10, we bridging a gap in your mind.
You are now tuned in to the livest morning show in the land, man. This is the Bridging the Gap show with the Trifecta Squad. You know what it is. We play the best and throwbacks and hit music coming live for you from the great city of Chicago. This song right here that we're about to go into epitomizes what the squad and the movement is all about. This is Chris Brown featuring Jules Santana running it, and that's what we doing. We're running it 24/7 right here from HitUSARadio.com. Let's go.
Got it.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Take 2.
Hold on.
2000. Playing the best and throwbacks and hit music, giving you everything you need, giving you everything you desire. Goes down Monday through Friday, 6 a.m., 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on www.hitusaradio.com. Want to send a special shout out to all of those who have been rocking with the squad, the entire movement. For all of you who are new to the show, we're going to give you an introduction of who we are and a rundown of what's happening right here on the Bridging the Gap morning show with the squad. I am your man, Tommy Gunz with a Z.
I'm the super producer, Bad Influence, J-Dub. Good morning.
And I'm XCell Airborne, and we in the
gonna give it to you. No doubt, man. How y'all feeling this morning? Y'all good?
Yeah.
I see you, Sil. You looking like a superstar this morning, brother. What's up, man? You got a hot energy going on. What's happening?
I woke up like this.
Oh, wait. Hold up. Hold up. He woke up on the fly side of the bed this morning. Not the right side, the fly side.
You know what I'm saying? About to go give me some waffles.
Right. No pancakes today. Change the game, huh?
Sausage.
Man. Wow.
I might make a grilled cheese sandwich with some jelly on it.
Oh, we gonna have that talk of me about sugar and hot sauce on? Cause I put hot sauce on my grilled cheese, so that might be
hot sauce on your.
Do what?
Oh my god!
Oh my god! What is
now
going on?
I do jelly. But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I do a little dash of hot sauce. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean,
it's a conundrum.
Hey, hold on. Let me.
It's a conundrum happening.
I mean, if it's not
that's
grits,
nasty, man.
If it's not grits, it's grilled cheese. I mean,
nasty.
Hey, listen. No, Dub. We can't let you go, bro. Y'all was on me about the sugar on the grits, bro.
We can't let you go with that one.
I can't let you go with this one, Dub.
That's nasty, Dub.
Hot sauce on a grilled cheese sandwich in the morning, bro?
Why?
Yeah, a little bit, because I mean, you figure you get to, like XCell saying with the sausage and the eggs, and sometimes you just, you sprinkle some on the sausage and eggs, and then a couple little dashes, you know what I'm talking about, on the grilled cheese. I mean, I still put jelly on it. It's just everybody's different, but
everybody's different.
You're absolutely
right. But that's nasty.
That's nasty.
As long as it's not sugar on grits, we all right.
Hey, man, look. That's the national debate that goes on and on.
Oh, absolutely. Every show, man, we need to do that, man.
My wife saw that when she was like, I like sugar on mine. I'm like, I told him that.
That's all I'm saying. That's the best part of the family. The family is like sugar on their grits.
I think I'm the best, but okay.
No doubt, y'all. So we're going to give y'all a rundown of how the show works, man, all right? So we got Shop Talk with XCell Airborne. We got Tommy Gunz Hit of the Day.
Bang, bang.
We got the Bridging the Gap Artist Spotlight. We're going to give you information on how you can be the next BTG Artist Spotlight right here on the show. And in addition to that, we also have the Trifecta Squad Top 10 at 9. And nestled in the top 10, we have the Wack Song of the Week with the super producer, J-Dub. So we're giving you 4 hours of non-stop hotness, heat, blazers, bangers. That's that joints right there. That's what we giving you. But without further ado, super producer, man, I know you got a hot lineup. So we gonna go. What's the joint we going into, man? Come on, man. Let's show these people what we do.
Listen, if you are tuning in Monday through Friday, starting at 6 a.m. here on Eat USA Radio, you will become so addictive, dog.
What?
Truth hurts, rock him in the morning, Bridging the Gap. This is the show.
Oh, let's go. All right, you are now in tune, man. This is a special segment, man, that we do. It's called the BTG Artist Spotlight for all those who are new to the show. And for those who are familiar, y'all know how it goes. But what this is dedicated to independent artists, local, national, and international, giving them an opportunity to have their product, their brands promoted right here with the Trifecta Squad. You know, the hottest morning show in the game. We're heard Monday through Friday, 6 to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here on HitUSARadio.com. Black owned and operated 24 hours. 365 is what we doing, man, right here from the great city of Chicago. And like I was saying, this particular segment, man, is dedicated to independent artists. But what we wanted to do, because of everything that's going on in our world, we wanted to have a strategist on the show with us. Because we oftentimes we want to take people away from everything that they're going through, everything that they're experiencing. We try to be a break from the norm. We try to be a break from everything that you go. So we try not to really focus on everything that's happening in the world, because we know we get so much of that in all of these other different mediums that sometimes you just need a break from that. However, you still have to come back and deal with the reality of the things that we're dealing with in the world. You know what I mean? Because you can't get around it. No matter how much you want to get away from it, you got to deal with it. Because that's the only way that issues become solved is by addressing, acknowledging what's wrong, and then trying to find a solution. Right? And so we're taking a different spin this time. This brother that we have joining us today, this is a dynamic brother, has an array of experience and talents and gifts and abilities. And just an honor. It's an honor to have him on the show right here with us, Apostle David Rogers, man. What's good with you, brother?
Good, bro. Glad to be here tonight.
And man, thank you so much, man, for joining us, man. And it's an honor to have us all here together, man. You know, 4 black men trying to make a difference, you know, in our homes, in our neighborhoods, and in our communities, you know what I'm saying, nationally and globally. And so, man, what we wanted to do, man, was just pretty much bring you on and talk about who you are, your background, and then we're going to try to address some of these issues with police brutality, the economic issues that we're having in the world, and what can we do as a people to solve our problems.
Yes, sir.
All right, and so, man, just introduce yourself to the people, brother. Let them know a little bit about you, man. This is a different audience that you're accustomed to, man. So let them know who you are, brother.
Well, my name is David Rogers. Pastor at church here on the south side of Chicago, the House of Prayer for All Nations Ministries. I'm the CEO of Dominion Vision Enterprises, which is a conglomerate of 5 companies in the real estate space. So we have a construction company, we have a financial services company, we have a management company, we have a maintenance company, and then we have a 501c3 community development corporation that we run financial literacy programs through in cities like Detroit, Baltimore, Indianapolis, Chicago, Columbus, Georgia, Houston, Texas, and Dallas. And we help build small businesses, and we teach churches and community organizations how to rebuild their community through real estate financially.
And that most definitely is something that we need, because it's clearly we haven't have enough of that. you know what I'm saying, in our communities. We're not getting enough of that. And so
they have a lot of it. It's not promoted. They promote all the stupid stuff, and they keep us away. They'll tell you who LeBron James is. They won't tell you who LeBron James's manager is. They won't tell you who his sports attorney is.
Right.
They'll put Beyonce up there, but they won't tell you who the attorney is that signs her deal. So it's up to us to begin to reverse what we think is important. We push the entertainment part, but the real people you don't never see. Them the ones that's making the money.
Yes, sir.
That's right, man. Dropping knowledge already. All right, so what we're going to do, man, we're going to take a quick pause. We're going to get into some more music, man, and then we're going to get into this in-depth conversation with the Apostle David Rogers right here, man, on the Bridging the Gap show. You know what it is. This is the BTG Artist Spotlight. Doing a little something different with this particular show, man, because we need solutions to our problems. Going into some new music, man. This is Nas, Ultra Black, right here on the Bridging the Gap show, man. We'll be right back after this. Man, thank you so much for joining us, man, right here on the Bridging the Gap show, man. Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on hitusaradio.com, man, playing the hits 24/7. And this show is being sponsored by Daily Home Healthcare. You can go to dailyhomehealthcare.net. We are currently hiring local CNAs and caregivers. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, you're looking for an opportunity to be hired in, most definitely want to check out dailyhomehealthcare.net, who is an official sponsor of the Bridging the Gap show. Thank them so much for supporting our business.
Yes.
All right. And this particular album, man, is the BTG Artist Spotlight, where we highlight independent, local, national, and international artists, giving them a platform to have their voices heard and their vision seen. And doing something different because we know that we're in a very different moment right now in history. 2020 has been a year of eye-opening awakening on so many different levels. It's pushing us, it's pressing us, it's testing us, it's trying us. Yeah. Every level. I don't believe it's one level that we're not being tested on.
Yes, sir.
And so we have to address where we are. All right. And so what we did was, man, we called on a professional because we have our voices, but then sometimes you need an elder. You need somebody who has that experience to be able to come in and kind of help lead and guide us. And so we have the Apostle David Rogers joining us right here on the show, man. It's an honor, brother. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, brother, to be with us.
That's right.
Good to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I mean, you know, just like I was just alluding to, man, about the current situation that we in. Have you ever seen anything? Have you ever lived through anything like this, man, in your life?
Nah, man. This is a completely different kind of situation on all fronts. COVID, the racial unrest, the police murders, the political front. I mean, to have everything hitting us all at once it's like a perfect storm, man. I don't know what's going on, man. This is a different time. This year has definitely been different. And then given the people that we've lost this year, just back to back has been horrendous.
Yes, it has.
Definitely have to take care of your mental health in situations like this, and your emotional and spiritual health.
Yeah. So I mean, so how do we do that properly, without losing ourselves?
Well, what I try to help people understand is everything in life is a process, so you have to take things in part. Most of us are control freaks, so we want to eat the whole cake in one bite because we want to be comfortable. And so we want to try to deal with all of this. We're trying to process it mentally to try to understand it, and there's just certain things that you can't understand. It's just a part of what's happening in life. And so we have to navigate those things. We got to ride those waves because they're coming, they're here. You can't ignore them, nor can you fully dive into them thinking that you're going to be the solution for all of this stuff that's going on globally, because it's a lot going on. We have 1 billion locusts in North Africa, volcanoes, 2/3 of California is on fire. We had double hurricanes come up the Gulf and hit Louisiana and Texas. We got another tropical storm getting ready to hit North Carolina. So if you try to process all of this stuff at once, man, you can lose it. So you have to just do the part that you can play and be as good at it as you can.
Right. And most definitely, man, I know for myself, this is therapeutic for me. Doing this show, being with these brothers, it's a break for me. You know what I mean? Because, along with dealing with all of that stuff, you still have your personal situations that you have to deal with within there. And so we all need a release. We all need somebody to talk to or something to do to take us away from that. And I just want the guys to kind of speak on, how have been some other ways outside of this have you guys been dealing with the drama and the pressure and the stress?
But personally, I would have to say music. Sometimes you just need your, you just need your alone time. I mean, it doesn't mean you dislike a person or people, but even if you just step outside, go sit on your steps, go sit in the car, go put on your favorite song. It doesn't mean you're in a bad mood, doesn't mean you need to cry, or sometimes you need to. Sometimes you might need to just go for a walk. Just do something. Whatever your calm is, do that.
Yeah. XCell?
Well, you know me, man. Some music, or spit some bars, or write some bars, or go to the stoop. All but in the pandemic, you mean. But you know me, I'm a reader, so I'll read the book.
Okay.
I love to just take a little bit of time out every day and read something just to take me away from everything.
Right. So, I mean, Apostle, this is gonna be kind of a loaded, tough question, but faith. How do we maintain our faith in these crises?
I'm actually teaching a series on biblical faith right now on Wednesdays, because we made faith out to be some type of magic formula where we're believing God for stuff instead of seeking Him.
Okay.
But I've learned through this, even when you are successful, you still got to be rooted.
Right.
Because even in success, there's landmines out here.
Mm-hmm.
We're watching people implode that have, big platforms, major athletes, and because all the stuff that's going on, they're making really bad decisions that are affecting their long-term life.
Right.
And so you gotta, even when you're successful and you got things popping and everything is moving, you still gotta know your limitations and be able to pull back sometime and allow yourself to be human. Because especially as men, we're driven and we're trying to be the best husband, best father,
best
business,
provider.
get the bills, provider, and we're trying to do all of those things. And we don't really take care of ourselves mentally and spiritually. We put that on the back burner because we're trying to go after the bag. But there's a lot of people that's getting that bag and they're going crazy.
Right.
You really want to take care of your mental and spiritual health.
All right, dropping gems right here, man. This is the BTG Artist Spotlight, man, with the Trifecta Squad, man. You know how it goes down, man. We play the best in throwbacks and hit music, man. We're going to get into a little more music. Matter of fact, J-Dub, man, won't you go into that KRS-One, man? What do we have to do?
You must learn.
Right here on the Bridge of the Gap show, man. We'll be right back after this, man. Y'all stick around. It's the Squad. We are back, man, right here, man. It's the Trifecta Squad. I'm your man, Tommy Gunz with a Z.
I am the super producer, J-Dub. Good morning.
Yeah, and
XCell, Airborne, hot.
All right, and this is the Bridge in the Gap Artist Spotlight, man. And of course, we're doing a little something different on this show, man. We tapped into the wisdom, man, because like our brother David Rogers was saying, man, it's all about balance, and we can't have the getaway without understanding what we're getting away from. You know what I'm saying? And so what we wanted to do was to be able to tap into a resource that'll help us individually and collectively, right? And so this brother, man, let's talk a little bit about your background and just kind of educate the people on your journey from where you started to where you are now, because your life story, man, is something that a lot of people is going to resonate with. And so just kind of give us a briefing on that, brother.
Well, I grew up on the south side of Chicago.
Outside.
My grandmama raised me. My parents got a divorce when I was in 5th grade, so I wound up moving to California for a few years. My mom worked in the hotel industry for the Hilton, and so I stayed there for a year, and then I moved back here in my 7th grade year. When I moved back, my dad didn't want the job, so I wound up moving back with my grandmother, and by the grace of God, I graduated 8th grade. I went to CVS High School, and I moved out to the Wild Hundreds. I became a four-corner hustler. So 1984, I'm selling weed. 85 hit crack hit Chicago in 85. So I'm 15 years old, I'm selling crack. 16 years old, I'm selling crack. Racing cars on Stony Island. I got a 76 Camaro with a 383 stroker, going crazy on Friday nights up on Stony Island and White Castles. And then one of the guys that we was rocking with, he flipped and became a TD. And he knew where I lived at, so they started putting hits on my life. And I called my grandmother and asked her, could I move back? And I didn't know it was the setup. That was my junior year in high school. That's why I met Apostle Kevin Dean. We was out hooping, and the Holy Spirit told me to come out and preach to the guys on the basketball court. I got saved on the basketball court in May of 1986. And by the grace of God, I graduated high school. I didn't have a plan because I wanted to be the biggest drug dealer in Chicago.
Right.
I wound up joining the U.S. Army. So from 89 to 92, I was in the U.S. Army in Fort Benning, Georgia. Came back and joined the Chicago Police Department in 94. And I did that for 7 years. Started selling real estate in 97, and I left the police department in 2001. And I've been doing my own thing since then. So I've been pastoring since 1998. It'll be 22 years this November. And I've just been traveling the world, man, in Africa and Haiti, Tegucigalpa, Honduras, across the United States, helping rebuild urban environments through real estate, rehab, renovation, teach people how to build businesses, and just how to live life differently.
Right. So some of what you shared in your story, man, is a lot of what we've all experienced in some form or another. You know, XCell can attest to his life and his journey. You know what I'm saying? And the similarities in your guys' journey, and I had some experiences in that as well. But, you know, it really resonates to what these young brothers and sisters are dealing with, especially here in Chicago, which is a hot pot. It's always been a hot pot.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And so having that experience and that testimony, how are you able to reach this particular generation, man, which is really different? You try to put your finger on it, your hand on where they are. How do you test the pulse of this generation?
Well, this generation is like our generation. It's the danger of trying to make it different is why the disconnection is there. I was a four-corner hustler. I sold drugs. I was gangbanging. I was racing cars. So if I'm talking to a shorty up here on 71st and Jeffrey, he didn't have no dad. What is he doing? He out there selling drugs too.
Right.
He's doing the same thing. So try to make it seem as if this generation is just so bad and they just beyond control and they can't be touched and they can't be reached. When the reality is the people that have the information and have big background are just simply not reaching out to these kids. So when I go out there, I just keep it 100. I tell them the truth. Hey, I had background too. I ain't gonna judge you because you out there doing your thing. But look, here's a way you can get out of that and do something like this, because them same guys you out there serving with, them gonna be the guys that snitch on you at 290 South Airborne. They're not about to do 85 years for you. They're gonna holler at you, what's up, folks? What up, Lord? Big old foe. Everybody gonna be doing that when it's money on the table. When the feds come knocking on the door, the same cats gonna be the same ones singing on the stand against you. Please understand, you can't do 75 years. I don't care how hard you think you are. I don't care how tough you think you are, how plugged you think you are. You can't do it. You don't want to do it.
Right.
We give them the tools. Hey, this is the way you can build your business. This is how you get incorporated. This is how you get an EIN number. This is how you start building your business credit. This is how you open up an account. This is how you flip real estate. This is how you do laptop. And you give them the tools. That's what happened to me. I got the tools.
Yeah.
My pastor invested in me the tools, and I take that, and we've taken it all over the world, man. We're helping people build all over the world. We can complain all day long. We get on social media.
All day long.
Outraged on social media and Facebook and Instagram, and you can do all of that. But until you actually invest in a human being, these things don't change. You can march all day. You can loot in Macy's all day. That's not changing what's happening in this country.
At all.
Absolutely.
I think that's like the pastor said, I think that's a big disconnection, and I love with the Bridging the Gap, because this is what I see from brothers that's my age. They say these little boys is bad. And I'm going to be honest, when I was a kid, I was worse than these kids. And it was worse when I was a kid. You couldn't walk around, take your hat, rob you of all your clothes. Real gangbangers. This stuff is fugazi. It's not like it used to be. And all I say is give the kids a chance to grow up. They're going to look at themselves like, I used to do that. And they're going to be different. They're going to have kids. They're going to get older. When I was a kid, we had skinny pants. Everything they doing, it's nothing different. Give them a chance to grow up. They'll change. And the murder rate was worse when we was kids than it is now.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Dub. You had a question, Dub?
Right.
And
I want to ask Apostle Rogers, how challenging is it for you to speak to young men and young girls? Mm-hmm. Because I worked juvenile detention with them, and they're not stupid, just like we weren't, just as all of you just said. But when you have adults, no one's the adult in the room, and if you have TV and radio, just say no specific station or TV, hey, your favorite radio station wants you to put the guns down. But then they play the number one song in the country, Shoot 'Em in the Face.
Right.
The clean version.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying, sir? So it's like the children are like, are you serious? You want me to put my gun down? Look what you're playing. The number one R&B song, Sleep With All the Women. The edited version. They're not stupid. Just like we weren't stupid, as you all just stated. How challenging is that for a child to say to you, Apostle Rogers, they did it, so now how are they going to shake their fingers at me saying naughty, naughty, when you all did it before I was born? How difficult is that to reach that young person?
Well, it's all about being authentic. The investment of time is what these kids are looking for. So when I didn't have my father in my life, what happened was when I moved out to the Wild Hunters, I bought a townhouse, and the prince over the folds at that time was like a father figure, because he telling people what to do. They putting us in business. I'm a shorty. I'm making money. Like my grandmother, one of the things that really triggered me was back then we used to have a soft serve ice cream man.
Right.
And when I was a shorty, to get an ice cream cone was $0.25. And I asked my grandmother for $0.25, and she snapped like, "How you asking me for $0.25? I ain't got no quarter. I'm working every day. Here you is trying to get some ice cream. You better go in there and make you a peanut butter jelly." She snapped, and I was like, man, we must be really broke. She don't have $0.25. So that kind of, it turned my mind. So when I started meeting people that's making money selling weed, it was an immediate turn on, and they invested the time. It was like, this is what we do. This is how we bag up. It was instructional.
Right.
Here we are, we want to tell kids what's wrong, but we don't give them the tools to understand why it's wrong and what the alternative is.
Right.
So I invest time in people. I invest time in grown men. We have men's ministry that meet on Thursdays. We had grown men come into men's ministry, not because they come to our church. They in the community. We out in Roseland. We out in the Wild Hunters. We in a 3-way war between GDs, BDs, and the Vice Wars. So I just invite them to the church. Hey, come to men's ministry, because the men we talking. And I have 40-year-old men with kids with no checking account, I had to teach him how to open up a checking account and how to balance his checkbook. He's 40. So our lack of information is why we where we are. And men are responsible for passing that knowledge on. So we gotta invest the time in the young boys and the young girls, because the young girls is looking for the older dude because she's looking for a dad.
Right.
You come into our life and you have some integrity, she gonna listen to you because you're gonna be consistent. You're gonna give her the real information. Shorty, you ain't gotta be out here in no booty shorts. Go to school. Get out of Chicago. Go to Historically Black College University. Here's the application. Call this lady so you can get your paperwork for your finances in order. I'll help get you a bus ticket and get you out of here so you can be something, because I see something in you. And that's what these kids are looking for. They're looking for somebody to see something in them and to push them, because they don't have nobody to push them.
No doubt, no doubt, man. They know what it is, man. It's the Bridging the Gap Show, the BTG Artist Spotlight. We're going to take a quick pause, man, and we'll be right back after this. Stick around. And that's Lecrae, man. Welcome to America. Right here on the Bridging the Gap Show, man, where you play the best in throwbacks and hit music. This is the BTG Artist Spotlight, man, and it is an honor and privilege to have the Honorable Apostle David Rogers, man, in the house with us. As we say on the show, he's kicking straight knowledge. Right here on the show. And man, you know what I'm saying, it's an honor to have you, brother, and just, you know, kind of talking about the things that are happening in the world, in our lives, and looking at the state of the union, right? You know what I'm saying, looking at the state of the union. There's a lot going on. There's a number of different items and issues and problems that we dealing with, and we talked about this when we first started. It's a lot going on.
Absolutely.
There's a lot going on, and it's difficult to really kind of pinpoint one thing, because you're going to leave out something. But let's talk about the civil unrest. I mean, we got protests and marches and rioting and all of this stuff going on while the pandemic is happening. And while the pandemic is happening, you also have economic, you know what I'm saying, upheaval happening, because now you're seeing that the rich are who they are and the poor are who we are, or who they are. You know what I'm saying? And so you have all of these different levels of issues and problems, but it's all boiling from, in my opinion, the lack of economic diversity. You know what I'm saying? And so this is a way, like Dr. King said, riots are the voice of the unheard, right? And so with that being said, let's kind of focus in on one issue, as you guys were saying. Let's focus in on police brutality and why it's so prevalent right now.
Well, I'm a former police officer. I don't know if your audience can handle it.
Well, come on, because you gonna come from I pulled you for this specific reason, brother, because you have experience in all of these different areas. Everything that we're pretty much facing, dealing, and talking about, you had your foot in the mud on these issues.
I worked in Inglewood for my first 3 years, and then I worked in the Robert Taylor homes for 4 years. And I saw police brutality up close and personal. So a lot of the narrative and the spin that the media puts out there, oh, I was in fear for my life and all of this kind of stuff, it don't fly with me, because I graduated from the Chicago Police Academy. I worked in 2 of the hardest districts in the city of Chicago on midnights, and it don't fly. I know what it is. I know what the use of force model is, and this is why I invest a lot of time on social media trying to educate our people, because the criminalization of Black victims is what they use to justify what they're doing.
Yeah.
This latest incident with Dick Blake, they said he told them he was going to his car to get a gun. Now, y'all from Southside, man. Y'all know if a dude tell you he going to the car to get a gun, you ain't never getting to the car.
You're not getting to the car. Period.
I'm do something to you to get you to not get in the car.
That's right.
You got a gun in the car. The last place I'm gonna let you get to is the car.
Your car.
So there's 4 police out there. 4 police can't grab this guy, punch him, do something.
Tase him.
Pull this guy's shirt.
Billy Club.
Unload on this guy in front of his kids. And then they said, and I read every news. I do a lot of research before I do anything, and I put information out. I do a lot of research. I read 55 reports. Not a single report said a weapon was in that car. When I called the activist from Kenosha, I asked them, did he have a knife on him? Was it a gun in the car? He's like, no, it wasn't nothing on him. His kids was in the car, and he's trying to get his kids out of the scene because he was there breaking up a fight.
Right.
And they lied and said the man was on a warrant for rape. We just disproved that. So Sean King just put that information out. That was a complete lie. So why did y'all shoot this man 8 times in his back and paralyze him in front of his kids?
Right.
So most of this stuff, the stuff with Ahmaud Arbery, the stuff with Breonna Taylor, she's in her room, sleep.
In her house.
Shoot this girl in her bed because y'all said y'all had the wrong warrant. You can't tell me that. I'm the police. There is a process to get a warrant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to have sufficient evidence. You have to go to a judge, provide that evidence, and then that judge will issue a warrant. Before you can execute the warrant, you have to stake out the place where you're going to do the warrant. I did it.
Right.
We arrested the BDs that was selling dope on 67 and Troop. We had to stake them out for 2 weeks. There's no missing the address.
Right.
You're not.
My bad. My bad, wrong house.
Like, come on, man. Y'all can send that stuff to people that don't know. But for those of us who are in the know, it is extra heartbreaking because on top of the murder, now you're going to lie on top of the murder.
Thank you.
And black people are being murdered unarmed. We don't have 1/10 of the murders in the news. So I thought, as you know, I was with the Laquan McDonald
yes, you were.
With William Calloway. We have 100 more videos that they won't release. Chicago police murdering unarmed black people. They have 100 more tapes. The judge that's over the appellate court for the state of Illinois won't release those tapes because he knows what that's going to do.
Right. It's going to create more of an uproar. And I mean, and we see, man, all of these cases all the time about the split decision, the timing of the decisions that these individuals have to make when it comes to these issues. And we've seen video evidence of black people and white people doing the same thing, and the results are always different. It's always different.
Startling different.
I mean, like we don't have the opportunity to say, okay, well, I get to go home after this. You know what I'm saying?
Bland on a traffic stop, and they arrested Jeffrey Dahmer that was eating people.
Right.
The white guy that shot up the people in Walmart down in Texas. They arrested him.
Yeah. They always take them alive. They're always taken alive. The guy who shot up he played the Joker. He sat in the car with the machine gun. They took him to McDonald's. Yeah. I mean, that's the guy who shot up the church. But then the other guy, they always take the white guys. They take them alive. You have to die. But can I just say something real quick?
Go ahead, bro.
No, this is gonna sound crazy to you, but when I say these things, I'm gonna tell you the truth. And this is right or wrong. It's this. You gotta just know what's right and wrong. Okay. Now, police should be held at a higher standard, way higher standard. They are trained with weapons. They are a gang. It's a group of them with vests, tasers, knives, batons, and you're scared? You shouldn't be a police officer. You should be held at a higher standard. And the reason that this goes on so long is because the last guy got away with it. He didn't get any time, so I could take a chance too.
Yeah.
I can murder me a nigga too. And I hate this, that's the way we gotta use it, because in the 60s, the Klan took off their robes and they said, we're gonna dress in police uniforms and we're gonna be the judges. And this is what's the product of it. Right here. This is what we see in our face every day. This is a problem. They should be held at such a standard that when they murder, they doing 100 years. That means they have to take precautions. They won't just be brutalizing people. It will be necessary. You see a gun, you pull a gun. They don't got no gun, you will pull that taser, that baton, and 5 of us jump on.
Yeah, I mean,
You got a knife? Who cares you got a knife? I'll tase you. I wish I could have a taser, you got a knife. This is why they're not held at a higher standard. They just act like they're regular, like they're the gangbanger who just don't know how to shoot. No, you know how to shoot. And then they're talking threat. And the problem is, my friends are police officers. I'm about to go take a trip to just spend a weekend with one of my police officer friends. But they also tell me that they're taught to end the threat, especially if they black. End the threat, don't even try to let them live. And there's another problem. In our community, they won't take responsibility. In their white community, I work downtown Gold Coast, they'll be like, hey brother, step back, we're gonna handle this when they white. But in the black community, you'll let the foot be on the neck and them call you a nigga and you won't go report nothing.
Right.
And this is my last thing. This is last thing. This is last. And this is gonna be hurtful. And I don't wanna say all, but I'm gonna say most police officers are bad. This is the reason why. You are a constable. Your job is to take people to jail that do crime. So you put up the blue wall of silence when you see your partner doing cocaine, drinking on the job, beating his wife, being a racist, and y'all never turn in. See, I'm a regular person. I know I'm barber. I know bad barber.
Let me tell you what happened to me. When I was in Inglewood, there was a white police officer who was a tactical officer. There was a kid named, well, I ain't gonna tell you his name. Case. Kid on 68th and Winchester. So back then, the TAC officers wore plain clothes and they drove plain clothes cars, get out boys.
Right.
So they got this kid up against the gate. He goes, this is the TAC officer, goes in his pocket, pulls out crack and throws it at the ground, throws it on the ground at the feet of this kid. And I seen it.
Good.
So back then, they wouldn't allow TAC officers to put arrestees in the back of their cars because they didn't have the shield. So those of us who had the uniform, we had to come and pick them up. So they put the cuffs on them, they arrest them for crack possession. I take them to the station and I go to my watch commander, I say, hey, because at that time I was working days because the old timers around Christmas to vacation, they take their vacation, so they pull the young boys off of midnights and make them work during the day. So this was during the day. They pulled me off midnights to work to the day, so I was working what they call a 99 car, which means you work by yourself. So I go and tell the watch commander, I'm like, hey, you got a dude out here on the TAC team that's putting crack on these dudes. And for those of us who work midnight, we're not gonna know that they doing this. So when we come now, we in a whole shootout because ain't nobody trying to go back to the penitentiary. Right. They think all of us are dirty. So you need to go and talk to this dude and tell this dude don't put crack on people. Right. Before 2 o'clock came, I was the biggest snitch in Inglewood.
I hear you. I hear you, brother.
So that's what prompted me to move to the 2nd district to the Robert Taylor homes, and then they put me on midnight. I was supposed to be, because I'm a pastor, I'm supposed to be on the CAPS watch team, which works days, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, doing community stuff. They put me in the 4444 building in Federal, Dolo, on midnights.
I hear you. Bro.
Put you in the danger zone.
Yeah. In the
so
middle.
Do some research on the police officers that have told.
I know, brother. I know.
They get fired.
I know.
Or they get killed.
Or they get blackballed.
I know. They don't have no
situation. You out there fighting by yourself. You call it. Don't nobody show up.
I know. Nobody.
And
I know it's wrong, but I think that I'm just saying because this is right and wrong. If more did it, but see, the majority of the people who won't snitch are on the opposite side anyway. They won't snitch. They are the oppressor. That's why it's more, it's unfair, even the hiring of police officers. That's why they get these people in the position. It was actually, police weren't even made for black people. Police were slave catchers. The badge that they wear used to say slave catcher, but now it's sheriff.
Right.
Look, and they were not made to get criminals. They were made for rich people to retrieve their property. And what was their property? Black people.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
it's unfair from the beginning to the end. It's not meant for us. And that's why I say we need good police, because we need police, but we need good police. We don't need we don't need scary police. We need well-trained people that come from our neighborhood, not the one. I know some police officers that's still in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, walk up, give you the handshake.
Right.
I'm talking about take the op down. This is what they doing. Take the op down, rob him of all his give him a case, and give you the guns and the drugs.
No doubt, man. We're having a real deep, in-depth conversation right here, man, on the Bridging the Gap show, man. This is the BTG Artist Spotlight, man. We're doing a little something different, man. We're talking about the issues that we're facing in our communities, man, in our world, in our nation, man. And we have the great Apostle David Rogers here, man, who is giving us briefings on his experience, man, in all of these different levels, from his time in the streets to his time as a police officer in the military. And now he's a businessman. And one of the things that both of you guys, you and XCell, touched on was the police accountability issue, and which leads to the next question, the defunding of the police. That there's a lot of this going on throughout the country. And when we say defund the police, we don't mean stop having police officers. That's not what a lot of people are voicing. The thing is, why are we paying so much money to a police system that does not know how to police its people? And if they're like here in Chicago, where they were trying to build a $90-some-odd million training facilities for police officers, when you have communities on the south, east, and west side of Chicago who are struggling, suffering economically, that could benefit off of some of those dollars. So when we say defund the police, we don't mean take all of the money from the police. We're saying with the money budget that the police would have, it should go towards better training.
Yes.
And all of these different areas, so that if they police should be taught how to de-escalate situations versus coming in being aggressive.
Well, here's the thing that's the problem with us as Black people. Our hope in this system prevents us from taking real action. So we've been here for 401 years.
Yeah.
They've lynched us, they've beat us, they've shot us, they've raped our women, they've destroyed our families, they've destroyed our churches, they've bombed us. They've done everything humanly possible to destroy us, and we're still here asking them to be nice.
Right.
They're never going to do it. So until we begin to take decisive action, to begin to unify and build our own separate system, we're always going to continue to be victimized, because that's the culture of this country. They have no motivation to do anything for us other than what they've been doing for 401 years.
Yeah.
And so if we don't come to that realization, when I came to the realization that they put me on midnights in the Robert Taylor homes for the sole purpose of hazarding my life, I had to make some different decisions.
Yeah.
So I started selling real estate, and in 4 years of me starting real estate, I made enough money to leave. So I resigned from the police department. I'm gone. Y'all can have it. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. And I started building my own life. I started investing in my own life. And so as Black people, we got to start investing in our own businesses, because we can't be political because we can't afford it. We're too segmented and fragmented, and we get all these different ideas, but we won't come to a table and say, hey, you got $1,000, I got $1,000. J-Dub is the guy that's smart enough to run for office. Let's get behind him and make him one of the 50 aldermen, so we got somebody in city council to make decisions on when this $8.7 billion comes in from Pepsi every year. We got a decision maker at the table to decide where that money is going to go. Right now, we're not in the decision-making place because we won't get together and galvanize our power. The Hispanics have moved past us. The LGBTQ community has moved past us. The Asians have moved past us. And here we are, 401 years later, we're still talking about reparations.
Right.
From a country that's robbed us of everything, we think they're going to give us reparations?
Right. It is crazy because we just celebrated the 57th year of the March on Washington and Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech. And the irony in that is the issues that were fought and discussed and preached and yelled about 57 years ago is still the same today. We're still fighting for the same thing, to be treated as humans, to have the opportunity to raise our families and to build generational wealth and to be able to go on vacations and take care of our communities. And when I talk to people of different cultures, I always say this to them. I say, what's the difference between you and I? And, they look and they be like, well, and they had this puzzling look. I said, nothing. I said, because we all want the same thing. We want to live a good life, take care of the people that we love, and live. It's not a huge difference. Yeah, it's going to be different vocations. Yeah, different things that we want to do with our lives, but at the end of the day, we all want to just be able to take care of our people and live. That's it. That's the only difference.
Can I say this? It's the fundamental principle of the fundamental founding principle of an institution will always be perpetuated through that institution. So let me explain it. America is a big old prison. They allow criminals to come here and start a colony. Let me tell you what America leaves in the world right now. The most people in prison. So what I said is the fundamental founding principle of any institution will always be perpetuated as long as it's that institution. So if you don't change the laws, we will never be equal. This is a prison and it's made for Black people. Only for us. That's why they are so lenient in the court with them. That's why they have Black's law. If it's all against you, you're the low-hanging fruit. You don't get a lawyer. They can keep on picking you off the corners, and because it's made against us. The whole system is against us, and it will never change, bro. It will never, ever change.
All right, so with that being said, man, we're gonna get into some music, and on the other side of that, we're gonna talk about how can we change where we are. And this is not about attacking any other race or any other nationality. This is just about an honest dialogue about where we are. And that's what we're doing right here, man, on the Bridging the Gap show, man. We're taking a bit of a different spin, a different approach to the BTG Artist Spotlight, man. We're talking about the issues, and then we're also giving solutions to these issues, man. We're going to take a quick pause, and we'll be right back after this, man. Y'all stick around. This is the Bridging the Gap show. Man, we are back. Having a very in-depth conversation, man, right here on the Bridging the Gap show, man. Something that we don't normally do, but we felt like it was important to be able to use our platform, man, to get these voices, these opinions out, man, in a different manner. And so we're here with Apostle David Rogers, who is our BTG Artist Spotlight, honorary BTG Artist Spotlight. He's not necessarily a musical artist, but this brother's art that he's painted throughout the community is something that everybody should be aware of. And we just want to thank you so much for taking the time out, brother, and being here on the show with us, man. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to be here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so let's talk about solution. Before we let you go, let's talk about solution. What do you think the first solution that you can give that'll help us out as a people? What's the most important?
The most important thing we have to do is we have to concentrate on rebuilding our families. Wealth in this country is built two ways, families and businesses. And 95% of the businesses that we have were built by families. So Walmart, McDonald's, the Koch brothers, Ford Motor Company, all of these major Exxon Mobil, the Bush family, Standard Oil, all of these major corporations were started by families. What was done to us through slavery, Jim Crow, the African slave codes, and the Welfare Reform Act in 1963 was the removal of the black man out of the family. And when that happened, they assassinated all the black leaders and replaced them with drug lords.
Yeah.
And it threw the entire black culture into a tailspin because the black family was no longer honored. And so all of the institutions that the black family promoted, being the church, civil rights movement, historically black colleges and universities, black banks and black businesses, took a hit because we didn't have the infrastructure to support those things anymore. So now here in 2020, with access to the global planet through the internet, we still haven't had a real meaningful meeting to discuss how we need to develop ourselves economically. Because the only way we're going to get rid of the Republicans and the Democrats and this two-party political system that keeps legislating to destroy us, the only way that happens is we got to have enough money to really fight.
Yeah.
People use the term fight. We've been fighting for civil rights since the 60s, but a fight suggests you at least getting a blow-in. We're not getting a blow-in, brother.
Right.
We get the same kind of people thrown in front of us and being told that these are the only people that qualify for leadership, when the reality is, within the black community, we've got a lot of leaders, but we got to get behind them so that we can build the systems that are actually going to work to change the entire dynamic of the culture of this country. Because until we do that, we're going to keep spinning our wheels in the snow.
Well,
last week, what I say?
Epiphany. We were just having that conversation.
The reason why we don't have wealth is because families run this world, and everybody with a lot of wealth is a family. And back in the day, a family, if you was a barber, your whole family worked in your barber shop. Now, with the removal of the father, you've broken down that family, so you can't get this generational wealth that will last forever.
Right.
And I'm happy that you said that, brother. That is perfect. That is perfect. And just to touch on one more thing that you said, though, I don't think that we need a leader. You don't know the white leader. You don't know the Chinese leader. You don't know anybody else's leader, but they keep on giving us a leader. We don't need a leader. What we need are think tanks that think up a whole lot of, that we think through all these solutions, through all these problems with all these multiple think tanks. And then we have a speaker of this think tank and a speaker of this think tank or this city or this area that will communicate the unified consensus plan for our communities. And then if you kill him, guess what? The movement still goes.
Continue.
You keep on erecting one leader, you can keep on killing him. See, they learned that in Africa. They'll come and say, who's the chief? You the chief? Boom, they'll kill him and then they say, I'm your chief now. And they knew black people always bow down. So we need consensus, which is a unified think tanks all around who thinks up the solution. And guess what? Then we use these speakers to stand as leaders, the sports guys or whoever, because I don't like them either. But we'll have them stand in front of everybody and then communicate or relay the very message that we need. And now we're getting solutions done.
Right. Well, no doubt, man. Apostle, man, we thank you so much, man, for taking the time out. Listen.
He needs to talk, man. I'm sorry, I talked a lot. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. I mean, we needed this platform. We needed this opportunity, man, to be able to get some of these things out of us. I mean, because this is therapeutic, and our goal is to help somebody that's listening. And if we can just turn one mind through this conversation, then let it be so. I mean, because that's why we're here. That's why we bridge the gap. We want to bring people from all different walks of life, different areas, different vocations, bring them together so that we can resolve the issues that we have. So Apostle, man, if people want to get in contact with you, brother, they want to get your services, man, how can they go about doing so?
They can email me at adr@dominionvisionglobal.com. adr@dominionvisionglobal.com. We do have personal and business mentoring coming up.
Okay.
If anybody in the United States of America, if you want to learn how to build your business, learn how to build business credit, if you want to just learn how to be personally disciplined, you want to learn how to eat and work out and take care of yourself, you want to learn how to lead, all of that will be available. I'm making myself available for that. If you're anywhere in Chicago, Indianapolis, Northwest Indiana, Philadelphia, Baltimore, you're looking to purchase a home, email me. We'll help you get funded all the way down to a 580 credit score, help you start buying homes, investment properties. You can't be broke and be political.
That's right.
You can't be broke and you can't be and be a leader. You got to have the resources to make things happen. If you have an organization or church or something and you want to see your people elevate, call me. We'll come. We'll do the training, financial freedom home buyer seminars all day long. We teach you how to build, and let's start it. Let's stop talking and let's get busy.
Let's get to it. So, do you have a website? Any social media information?
Our website is getting redeveloped. We had to because we're getting into development now, so we're building houses from the ground up in Indianapolis. Okay. So we're doing our website. Both our church and my business website are being redone. So just hold out on that, but you can email me directly at adr@dominionvisionglobal.com.
All right, you got a phone number?
708-692-7104.
One more time.
708-692-7104. That's my direct number.
Well, man, brother, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man, for sharing your experience, man, your background, and the solution at the end of the day. After we talk about everything, because you got to get it out first. And once you get it out, you got to have a solution. And we thank you so much, man, for being able to provide just a piece of that along the journey, man.
And I want to encourage all of the Bloods, Crips, GDs, BDs, Latin Kings, MS-13s. Your brother is not your enemy. We got enough enemies, man. It's time for us to stop killing each other in these streets.
Yeah.
Over $200, or he dissed me, and all of this beef y'all got going on social media down in O Block and all of that. Man, we need to cut all of that out, man. Y'all give me a call, email me. I'll help anybody start a business. I'll help anybody do anything that's positive. We got people that got studios here. You want to get your rap career off, we'll help you do that. You want to learn how to do fashion, we got people to do that. But let's turn it around, man. Let's stop killing each other and shooting these babies over some nonsense.
Yeah, sure. All right, and we'll end it right there, man. And Mr. BTG Artist Spotlight, man, with Apostle David Rogers, man. We are the Trifecta Squad, man. We will be right back after this, man. Y'all stick around, man.
Bridging the gap, yo, we all up in your mouth. Social media, Trifecta Squad is all up in your house. Got that drip shop talk is what we talking out. XCell Airborne, Chicago is what we talking about. Shining light on new artists, it's your man Tommy Gunz. Older new school, man, how you gon' come? You keep them hits loaded, them topics keep rolling. The content potent, squad business, you better know it. Message, super producer J-Dub. Wack song of the week, man, you'll probably need a hug. Bad influence, his opinion is solid. Most dudes is cap, but he kicking canali. Hit USA Radio top 10 at 9. From 6 to 10, we bridging a gap in your mind. Hot.